overcoming negative thoughts. I want to help you shut the door on negative thoughts. Do you want to shut the door on negative thoughts? Well, great, because today I will cover 1, the behaviors that make negative thoughts worse and what you should do instead. 2, I will also cover one of the biggest mistakes we make when we're having negative thoughts, especially about ourselves. And 3, the one powerful thing that you already know but don't yet realize the power of it. Every one of us will fall prey to negative thoughts sometimes. It's like watching a movie that begins with clear skies and happiness and seeing it turn into dark clouds and horror. And the bad thing is that there is no eerie music to alert us when that turn takes place in our minds from positive to negative. We can only tune into our thoughts once in a while to see how we're doing. If you're new to this channel, my name is Genese Smith, and I am a dream builder and a certified transformational life coach. And one of my strongest desires is to help individuals step out in confidence, especially after a very challenging time in life. When you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts, there are a few things you can do. Actually practice. And these things can help you overcome the negativity and get yourself into that happy ending. So let's take a look at the behaviors that make negative thoughts worse and what you should do instead. Plus, I'll give you some bonus tips that will be helpful for you to really shut the door on negative thoughts. Have you ever heard the term hurting people hurt people? But when you hurt someone else, when you're hurting, you're only hurting yourself. And I can understand where people are coming from when they behave in a certain way. Sometimes when we're hurting, our reaction comes from past experiences that led to certain beliefs that we accept as truth. And these ideas are projected on others just to protect our own selves from being hurt again. Yes, I know you're having a bad day and someone comes around to cheer you up. And all you can think is, I want this person out of my face because they're talking too much. And if you're a blunt person and feeling some anger with those negative feelings, you may shout at them and send them away. But if you're feeling more conscious of someone's feelings at the time, you might politely say, you know what? Thank you. And I appreciate you trying to cheer me up, but I really want to be left alone now. And when you find that your speaking or thinking tone is harsh and negative, it actually makes you feel worse. So make an effort to change it to a lighter and more positive tone. So adjust the tone of your voice, both inner and outer. You know, those persons to you who are closest to us get the blunt of our feelings, right? And I can even think of times my husband may come to me with good intention, but I thought it was wrong, and I thought it was the wrong way, and I spoke a bit harsh because of how I was feeling. And I felt awful. And guess what? I had to find myself going to apologize. I could have saved myself that extra work. I like to hear some comments. I'd like you to just type in the comment when you've said something and you wish you could take it back and then realize after thinking about it, you really didn't mean it and it made you feel worse. Or better yet, when you've handled the situation really good by doing what someone expected and you felt really good about how you handled it and wonder why you can't do this all the time. Another behavior that can make the negative thoughts worse is staying with negative people all the time. Sometimes when you feel all negative, you want to stay in that crowd because when you're sad and see someone else smiling, you may say things like, well, what are you so happy about? Or if someone says, good morning, then you blurt out, what's so good about the morning? And if someone agrees with you, then you lean toward that person because you see that person as someone who understands what you're going through and can relate, right? And I know it may seem like at that time it's okay and that will make you feel better. And when we're going through our moments, we tell ourselves we don't want to feel better, whether we're going through some feelings of guilt and we think that we deserve whatever punishment we think we're getting, whatever the case is, the negative self-talk will not bring out the best of you. So choose positive people to be around. You may have to work with negative people and you may have some in your own family, but your friends that you choose can be positive ones who help you put things into perspective when you're thinking negatively. So before I move on to the bonus tips, have you subscribed to this channel as yet? Make sure to hit that red subscribe button and be notified of all the contents to be your best self that's posted every single week. I would really like you to consider using these bonus tips. That will be helpful for you to really shut the door on negative thoughts. So 1, meditation. So just finding some time for yourself to meditate, just relax and just restore the energy levels. That can do wonders for your outlook. And sometimes when we get tense in our feelings, we hold our breath without even realizing it. So when you do deep breathing exercises, you can make bigger leaps. For some people, their meditation time is their prayer time, and prayer works wonders. The second bonus tip is smile. Although it's the last thing on your mind, not to mention the last thing you really want to do, but when you're committed to overcoming negative thoughts, our behavior now comes down to the choices we make and not how we feel. I once heard that commitment doesn't care how we feel. So think about someone on a weight loss program. I'm sure they don't always feel like following what the program suggests, but they do it because of the end result. So this is true about you smiling now. So as I was saying, the best way to diffuse a negative situation is to smile. Really smile with your eyes and your entire face and demeanor. And it can lift a mood almost instantaneously and help to relieve your stress too. And it takes less facial muscles to smile than to frown. The third thing I want to mention is help someone else. So when you're becoming a benefactor to someone, that can lift your heart and your mind with happiness. And how can you think and project negative thoughts when you're so happy? My fourth tip, and one of my favorite, is keep a gratitude journal. So those who have had to overcome great obstacles in their lives say that they keep a gratitude journal and they wrote a few things in it every day that they were grateful for. I started that practice a few years ago and I still continue it up to now. And I do encourage some of my friends to do the same because it really helps to change your focus. And I have heard many persons said it helps to get them through bad times. Leave your comments below. What are some other behavior you think I did not mention and you think is important? Or what else would you want to mention in the bonus tips for our listeners to know? So let's look at one of the biggest mistakes we make when we're having negative thoughts, especially about ourselves. When these thoughts come, we feel like our energy is sapped. And one of the biggest mistakes we make is to stay where we are and we sit or we lay down and we just don't feel like doing anything except having a pity party. And we stay there going over in our thoughts all the reasons to justify why we feel the way we do. And dare anyone try to come and interrupt those thoughts. And it just brings us further into a rabbit hole, and we have a hard time getting out. So to change the pattern of thoughts, it's good to move from where you are. Yes, I get it. Those negative thoughts really sap your energy. And when they start, they literally will drain the life out of you if you allow it. I can remember having those moments. And I'm telling you one thing, I did not want to move. And most times, I did not want to talk to anyone. I wanted to stay and have my pity party for members only, which is me, myself, and I only. But hear this, that did not work for me. And it did not work for others. And it might not work for you either. So do whatever works for you to lift your spirits and get out of the negative self-talk. But make sure it's actually working. You know, some people exercise, that gets the endorphin flowing and keeps you from becoming depressed. Dancing and singing, I mean, those are proven mood lifters. You don't have to be good enough to be like American Idol or Dancing with the Stars. Just dance or sing unfiltered and just see how the stress can just melt away. Listen to music, go for a walk. If you like cooking or baking, you can do that too. You can watch something that makes you laugh or just smile. So, what's the one powerful thing that you know but don't yet realize the power of it? I think some of you have already guessed it. Yes, that's it. The power of choice. You are in charge of the choices you make in life, and you can either choose to be a negative or a positive person to go through life. Remember, I said earlier that commitment does not care about how we feel, because we're committed to something. We have to dismiss those feelings that holds us back and make the choice to fight for the results we desire. You know, I was listening to a program last week, and the guy said, not one time he felt like working out when his workout was scheduled, but he made the choice to do it anyway because he thought of the benefit. So think of the benefit of overcoming negative thoughts and make the right choice. You mean, you can do it. You know, I don't need to sing to you and tell you how much you can do it. You know what I mean? When I was smaller, they would sing the song, "You are a promise, you are a possibility, you are a promise. With a capital P, you have a great big bundle of potentiality. And if you listen, you will hear God's voice, and if you try, He'll help you make the right choice. You are a promise to be anything God wants you to be." Oh yeah. Just smile, be happy, make the choice. Shut the door to negative thoughts. All right? Don't sweat the small stuff. Bye for now.